Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here with the last and final part of this room organization, and I'm showing you this drawer because I thought I had turned on my camera and I didn't. So I missed reorganizing this particular drawer on camera. This is my sticker drawer, but I'm basically going to do the same with every single drawer that is left in my room. I think I have like something about 10 drawers maybe. At the very beginning you saw an overview of the drawer system that I'm going through this time. Last reorganization video was on the other part of the drawer system, and then this is the other half of it. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking each drawer, pretty much emptying it, just kind of looking through the supplies, seeing if there's anything themed that needs to be moved into its correct themed category, and then also looking at the supplies. So for instance, this little pack had stickers, it had confetti pieces, and it had cards, and it was in the die cut section. It really didn't even have any die cuts. So I'm going to move those confetti pieces into my little bits drawer, and I'm also moving the stickers into the stickers drawer, and then I'm moving the cards on that tear off pad into my pocket card storage. And then I'm basically doing the same thing with the rest of the things in this drawer. Now that basic gray pack that I set off to the side there, I'm going to leave it in here, but I'm going to repackage it. Some of them I'm going to repackage, and some of them I'm just going to leave how they are, and then some I'm taking out of their packaging. It just kind of depends on how it is. A lot of them I'm kind of leaving where they are, but the ones that would be difficult to take out and use, like that basic gray one is in a little bag inside of that packet, I'm actually reorganizing that one into my regular storage that I use now for my die cuts. And then the ones that are like that little tag pack that you can see right there, that's going to be reorganized as well. And as I go through here, I'm starting to realize, okay, I have a couple little card pockets in here that I'm putting with the rest of my pocket card storage, because I put envelopes and pockets in there as well, because that's how I use them. I'm not going to go through my die cut drawer looking for those. I'm going to go to my card storage to find those, like my pocket card storage to find those. And then I'm just looking at the theme of each of these to see if any of these need to be pulled out to put with my themed storage. So I had some states, which are going with the travel section. I have a couple different things. I have some birthday themed ones. I have some that could technically be themed, like there was one that was mermaid, but it doesn't necessarily have to be beach themed. It could just be for, you know, something girly. So that's staying in here. But the ones that are titled beach and pool, those are going to go to the beach and pool section, because those have very specific motifs in those that would only really be used for those type of layouts. I have this snap pack as well from Simple Stories. I'm going to take it out and kind of move all the supplies to the correct places that they need to go. And then I have these smash calendar pockets. I'm actually moving those into my new drawer that is like projects and travelers notebooks and mini albums. I'm going to move that into there because that would be more of a project style thing that I am working on. So now that I have everything out and organized, now I'm putting them back in the drawer just in a little bit more of an organized manner, and then repackaging as I go if I find anything that needs to be repackaged. And I'm taking one more look at each package to see if any of them are the themed things that need to stay out. So that one I think that I just set off to the side was travel related. I just didn't realize it was at first. So now I'm going to repackage all of these things. I decided to speed up this last section of this reorganization project because it was so much. If I didn't speed it up and kind of cut out some of the little like repetitive things, it would have been over 2 hours. It would have been about 2.5 hours worth of footage. So I thought it was better for me to go ahead and speed this up and do a voiceover. I was getting to the point in the reorganization where I was a little bit over it, and I do this every single time I start an organizational project. I'm like super gung-ho about it, and then as I go I get a little less excited and then it just kind of gets less and less exciting as I go, and then of course the very end is super exciting. But in the process of it, I get to a point to where I just want it to be done and I'm a little bit bored with it. And that's kind of where I was. So I didn't even really do much talking while I was doing this reorganization. So I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to post this section, but I thought if I don't, then it's not going to be complete for you guys. So I decided to go ahead and post it and just do a voiceover instead. And I'm super pleased with how the drawers are. Now that I have my room completely, everything's completely put up and organized, and I don't have anything on the floor in my room, and there's nothing under my desk. This that you see me go through right now, I'm just creating piles of types of products. This is all the stuff that was piled up under my desk. I think I have posted a video, a photo of it at some point, but basically I had this ginormous pile of things that I kept finding that didn't belong where they were, but I didn't want to like throw them in the sticker drawer until the sticker drawer was organized. So these are all of those products that were under my desk, and it's quite a large pile, and I'm trying to kind of put it up as I go. And I wish I had kind of sorted this into piles before I had done the sticker in the die cut drawer, because as you can see, I'm kind of like rearranging the drawer as I'm trying to throw those in there. I am also going to do the same thing on this section of drawers that I did on the other one, which is consolidate two of the drawers together. I end up consolidating my little bits drawer and my word stickers drawer because there just wasn't much in either one of them. And then I'm actually going to eliminate my acetate drawer. So I had a drawer that was just for acetate, and you'll see it in just a moment when I pull it out. It is almost completely empty. There's truly no reason for me to have a separate acetate drawer. This is a chipboard drawer that I have to the right. I would put chipboard and die cuts together, except for the fact that I have so much of each of them, because I use them interchangeably. I use them exactly as I would each other. So like I use a die cut just the same as I would a chipboard, and I use the chipboard just the same as I would a die cut. So, and truly stickers too. I mean, you can kind of treat all three of those products exactly the same, but I have so much of each of those and this is that sticker drawer again that I forgot to show you at the very beginning, so you'll kind of get a glimpse of it here. I put all the sticker books to the left side of the drawer, so they were all piled up, and then on each of the drawers I have any of the 12 by 12 sheets at the very bottom, just so they lay flat and don't kind of get in the way. But any of these three products, stickers, die cuts, and chipboard, can kind of be used interchangeably, but I have so much of each one of these that I can't store them all together. I would never be able to find anything. So I have those three separate, but the acetate pieces, and like I said, you'll see that in a moment, I am just going to distribute those throughout my stash. So most of them are going to go into the die cut storage, but then I have a few that are kind of themed that are going to go into their themed storage as well. And when I was doing my stickers, I have a few that are very specifically planner, like little checklist and things like that. So I kept them in a little zipper pouch for planner, and some of them say like appointment and things like that. So I kept those specifically in a little zipper pouch for planner, because I do like to decorate my planner. I don't decorate it all the time, but I do like to decorate it. So I like to be able to just pull out that little zipper pouch. Now I can always use any of my supplies in my stash to actually do planner decoration, but it's kind of nice to have that ready and available. So this is my chipboard drawer, and it's quite a lot. I have a few, I had to actually take a break, which is why you see me like rearranging here. I had to take a break. There's a few that are almost empty, so I'm actually going to punch those things out and stick them in my little drawer. I have a little drawer that sits on my desk now that's for chipboard, and that's kind of where I just put miscellaneous chipboard pieces that I have either pulled out to use and then don't use, or just ones that are kind of like remaining pieces in packages. So I went ahead and punched those out and just stuck them in that drawer. You'll also notice that I'm taking a few things out of their packaging. Some of those things are already in packaging, some are out. Those numbers I'm going to pull out and put into an alpha storage. I actually want to take one of these empty drawers that I created and put alphas in it. I think it would be really nice to have my overflow alphas in a drawer instead of trying to shove them all into the two little boxes that I have. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And since I am doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take out these chipboard alphas that I have that were part of this set that I've never actually used. Well, I guess I've used it like once. I've used some of the chipboard elements more than that, but I've never actually used the alphas quite as often. So I'm going to take those out and just set them off to the side with the hopes that I'll be able to create an alpha drawer. And I do end up creating one. It's just much further near the end of this process than it is near the beginning. And then now that it's all nice and organized and sorted through, I'm going to put it back in this drawer. Like I said, some of the things are staying in packaging and some of them are coming out of packaging. It just really kind of depends on the product itself. And then I realized I have a birthday one that I forgot to pull out, so I pulled that out as well. I was checking this one because I thought it was like July 4th themed, but it's not. It just has a lot of red, white, and blue in it, but it's not particularly July 4th. And then just like how I had sorted through those things that were on the bottom shelf of my desk, I am going through the things that I set aside that were chipboard and going ahead and adding it into this drawer as I have it out. So we're moving on to the word sticker drawer. I love this drawer because I love word stickers, and I apparently have a ton. And some of these are rub-ons and some of these are die cuts. Some of them are vellum. Word stickers or word quotes, as you can see, and all of that, I treat them all kind of the same. Even though it's titled word stickers, I go ahead and kind of sort these products as how I would use them. So I would use like these little quote packs pretty much the same as I would word stickers. So I leave them in here. I know that they could really be in the sticker drawer. In the vellum ones could probably be in the die cut drawer or in the card drawer. But either way, I kind of use them the way that I would use word stickers. And so I'm leaving them in here for now. This type of organization, whenever you organize by product type, is really kind of a little bit up for interpretation, because a lot of times you'll have a set of something that has multiple product types in it. You know, just like I have word stickers as a category and little bits as a category. Well, stickers could be in the sticker drawer even though they're word stickers, and so on and so forth. So this is what my current little bits category looks like. And basically it's pretty much anything enamel, like enamel shapes and things like that. Rhinestones, and I have a ton of rhinestones from like back in the day, and I do periodically use them. So I keep them in here. I have some paper clips. I have little packs of sequins and paper clips. I have these super cute cork hearts from Pretty Little Studio. I had to think about that for a second. I have little stickers. I'm just taking them out of their plastic packs. Now these are LA Studio, and I do have LA Studio storage, but I have plenty of these type of products in that LA Studio storage, so I wanted to also incorporate some with the rest of my products in my stash. Now as I go, if I take something out of packaging, if it is not attached to like the title page kind of thing, then I just staple it onto it so it kind of all stays together. And I'm doing that process as I'm hanging it out of the drawer. That way when I put it back in the drawer, it's just very easy to kind of sort back into the drawer instead of having to still fill around with it whenever I'm trying to put it back in the drawer. I have lots of things here, lots and lots and lots of things, as you can see. Some really old things, some new things, some things that are falling apart. So like this one had the enamel dots that were kind of falling off of it. So I stuck that particular enamel dot sheet in. They're like glittered enamel dots. I stuck that in my little bits drawer that sits on my desk. I have a mini drawer system that sits on my desk as well, and I put those in there. That way I would try to go ahead and use them, and I'll probably have to reinforce them with some glue, but that's okay. I have lots of little stickers of hearts and stars and things like that, and these are just little icon elements. It's really kind of how you can describe little bits. I also would say, like I had said, the enamel dots, sequins, all those types of things are this little bits. Now I'm putting it back in this drawer, and you're going to see me reach over in a second and pull in the things that were in the word sticker drawer. And this is where I'm going to decide to consolidate. Now, I had originally thought I would just throw in all my little enamel dot sheets into the zipper pouch, but I'm going to end up taking the zipper pouch out because it's too big to put in here once I include the word sticker drawer into this same one. And this is going to be one of those empty drawers that I end up using for something else. I have a drawer that's at the bottom of my shelving system that is super heavy and kind of cumbersome to go through. So I'm going to kind of separate that into this empty drawer because I'm actually creating this empty drawer without necessarily having a purpose in mind. I just didn't really need an extra drawer for these types of things, especially since there were so few things in each of those drawers. So I tried to stick it in here, and then I realized, okay, that's just a little too fat. So let me, I take them out, and then I kind of put them off to the side into this drawer. So it looks a little bit jumbled, but I know exactly what is in here, and I can very easily find what I need. And then I have that chipboard divider in between the two just to kind of keep them separated so I can find what I need. And then I am putting the other label that says little bits onto this drawer as well. So it all is labeled and together. All right, we're moving right along here. I know it seems to be going fast for you guys on screen, but like I said, it took me like 2.5 hours. It was quite some but I'm really happy with the end results. Now we're moving on to my tags and labels drawer, and this is just kind of where I keep anything that's really a tag or a label. Now a lot of these again could be stickers or die cuts, just depending on how you look at them, but I put them all in here, anything that was categorized as a tag or a label, and I have quite a few. So this one I didn't actually pull everything out, and I probably should have because then I end up ripping out that sticker. That's okay, the sticker didn't rip, just the backing sheet. So I could have really pulled everything out and looked through it, but this was pretty easy. It's all literally tags and labels. I just need to do a little bit more organization versus necessarily pulling everything out. I have my tag punch in here as well because that is what I would pull out if I were to use a tag or need to make a tag. I had some July 4th labels in here, and then I'm going to take these Tim Holtz stickers out of their packaging, but they're gold, black, silver, and white. And then again, just kind of resorting what's in here. I have a couple sticker books that are tags and labels, and then I have this die cut pack as well. I thought it was a Thanksgiving themed one. It does say give thanks, but it also has things like hello and friends and things like that on there. So I end up leaving it in here because it's a little bit more generic than what I would want to put into my Thanksgiving themed scrapbook supplies. This is my wood veneer and acrylics drawer. And there is this one pack of acrylics that are birthday candles, so I'm moving that. And then I do have another pack of wood veneer that is like well done, good job, A+. I'm moving that to school. And then I have a little basket here with just some random die cuts, wood veneer, and cork pieces. So I found a few Christmas trees that I'm moving out, and then I thought these ledger ones looked very school themed, so I'm moving those out as well. And just kind of, I have a globe that's more travel-like. And then I'm dumping out this Ziploc bag of random wood veneer into this basket as well. Now this basket is great, except for I end up putting my enamel dots in here. So I have a ton of homemade enamel dots that have just kind of been floating around my craft room in the little drawer that I have, or in the little like storage system I have for a bit. So I end up putting them in this drawer instead of keeping them out, which I think is a much better way to store them. I was starting to dump things in there, and then I realized that there were numbers in here, so I'm taking out those numbers and I'll put them back in the Ziploc bag and then put them into my alpha storage once I actually make a drawer for the alphas, which will be coming up here in a moment. Now I left the punctuation in with the wood veneer, but I'm taking the numbers out and putting it in with the alphas. So I have a few acrylics that I'm also going to be adding, and this little like jar, I used it as a decorative jar at one point, and it's got like wooden spools in it and some like sticks that I had used to wrap ribbon around. And so I'm going to end up taking those out and just kind of putting it back in into the storage as well. I'm just trying to figure out the configuration. This was probably the hardest one that I messed with as far as figuring out the configuration. I just couldn't quite figure out how to make it work. So I end up taking everything out, putting the putting the homemade enamel dots at the bottom, and then kind of stacking things around that. And then I do have a box that I'm going to switch here in just a second. And this is just a really nice like chipboard box that I had gotten a Christmas present in. It's actually what my Starbucks mug came in. I like the I think it's called the Destinations or Where You've Been or something. No, Been There series. I like those cups from the mugs from Starbucks, and so I try to get them whenever we travel different places, and Ernest got me a couple for Christmas. But the boxes that they come in are awesome. They're like an awesome size. They fit perfectly in these drawers. And then they're also kind of tall. They're a lot taller than this little plastic basket that I have. So as you can see, it fits really well in there. It's not as tall as the drawer, but it fits really, really well in there. And then I can go ahead and empty this other bag and put it in there as well because the box is not overflowing. And then I have a whole bunch of Scrabble tiles in that little box as well. Those are just ones from an old Scrabble game that the board was broken, but I kept the Scrabble pieces and I've put them in here with my scrapbooking supplies. So that finishes out that drawer, and it looks so much better than it originally looked. And then I also had a place to put my homemade enamel dots. So these are the acrylic, so these are frames and acetates is what these are. So I'm not exactly sure why the frames are really in here because I only have one package of frames and they are chipboard. So I end up moving them into the chipboard drawer. And I thought about putting them in this drawer at first, but I was like, it still is so empty. So I'm going to cut apart this cut-apart sheet and put it in with my pocket card storage. I'm going to move those frames into the chipboard storage. I'm going to move these like acetate die cut pieces into a storage packaged just like that, and then put them in with the die cuts. And then I'm just going through the rest of the supplies here. Most of these other ones are either going to be die cuts or pocket cards. So those were some overlays that are going into pocket cards. Those are going to go into die cuts. Those are going to go into die cuts. These are going to go into the pocket cards. And then those acrylic word pieces or acetate word pieces are also going to go into die cuts. So that pretty much takes care of that whole drawer. I'm just going to take a moment and trim that sheet apart, that 12 by 12 sheet, so I have the acetate cards separated. And that really finishes out this drawer. Now I have two empty drawers. I have an empty larger flat drawer, and then I have an empty like square cube. And so now that I have that empty drawer here, you're going to see me kind of reach from the other side of my desk. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and stack up my little clear boxes of the Jelly Bean Soup Alpha Beans, which I love, but I need the top of my storage cabinet bag. And so I had them stored up there just because they were pretty and I liked the way that they looked when they were all laid out. But I'm moving those and changing them. I'm going to put it in this alpha drawer for now. I could still pull them out and use them very, very easily. But I'm putting all my scrap paper in a bin on top of that cabinet now. And I also have put my oil diffuser up there. I got the oil diffuser for Christmas, so that's a fairly recent addition into my scrapbook room, but I like having it right there because it's kind of higher up, and I feel like when it's on, it kind of goes around the room a little bit better. It's not like tucked into a corner or anything like that. And just right in front of my scrap desk so I can see it and smell it as it's doing the oil diffusing. Diffusing? I guess that's the verb, diffusing. I guess so. So, and then I have the big bin with my scraps in it, and it's a massive bin of scraps, but it's in a fabric bin, so it looks a little bit nicer than just being in like a clear box or something like that. It's a little bit more decorative looking. It's kind of hidden. You can see it, but you don't necessarily go, oh, what is that mess? Like it's in a pink fabric box instead. So now on top of that cabinet over there, does not look cluttered. It's very simple, and you'll see that in the photo at the end where it's just an overview of the cabinets. I'm not really sharing an inside look of each of the drawers. I'll do that when I do my room tour, which will actually be coming up here probably in a couple days. It'll probably be a few days. I need to make sure that I'm having some good natural light coming in the window whenever I film that, and so it'll need to be during the day that I film that. Now I am in my drawer with tissue paper and glassine bags and things like that, and I am moving a lot of those glassine bags and the small paper bags into my pocket card storage. And the reason I'm doing that is because they're kind of sized the same, and I like to use those for layers a lot of the time when I'm scrapbooking. So this drawer was just to the point that there was so much in here that I wasn't using any of it, and that's really not the point of it. That's really not how this is supposed to be set up. I have a couple decorative papers here you're going to see in a moment that I have gotten from my sister. They're not really tissue papers. I mean, I guess they kind of are, but they're like decorative papers. I think they're supposed to be decorative wrapping papers, but she got them for me to use in my scrapbooking, and they're so pretty. I've never used them, but I've got them in here, and I really need to use a couple of them because I just think they're so pretty. You see all of my like little bags in here. Now I have a giant pile of glassine bags there that I'm going to sort through and see which ones I want to keep. And I keep probably 95% of them. The only ones I don't keep are the ones that have big stickers on them that I can't remove. Like you can normally remove the LA Studio stickers and the Studio Calico stickers, but some of them are really old and the stickers weren't removing anymore. Those are those decorative papers, and they're just so pretty. So then I'm going to layer all the larger bags on top of those, and then also just my pile of tissue paper here that I have, and I use that for wrapping paper as well as for scrapbooking. So this drawer is much more manageable. I have some fibers here that are just in here. I've used them for various projects over the time. And now that this part of this pocket card system is much more full, now I can line them up the correct way to where they're kind of facing the front instead of to the side. Now this is like the final part of the drawer system. This is my tool drawer, and this is where I have punches, this is where I have decorative scissors, this is where I have edge punches, I have my circle cutter in here, I have a couple different things in here. So I had one punch that was still in its packaging, so I went ahead and took it out, and I'm labeling it. That way I know what it is. That way I can also get rid of that packaging. And then I'm going to separate this drawer into that other cube drawer just to have the things kind of spread out a little bit more, easier to find, and also not quite so heavy. The way that it is that I can't really use it. I can't really pull things out of it and get to it easily. I would have to leave the drawer on the floor if I do that, because it is so heavy. I just can't. The bottom of the drawer would fall out because it just has so much weight in it. So I take that basket out. I pretty much put everything that's in that basket into this other drawer and kind of separate it a little bit, and then also include those banner and square punches that I had from like those homemade badges that are like the clear stickers that you could stick on top, or I got rid of the clear stickers. I still had the punches, so I put those in there. And then I have one final drawer that I almost forgot about, but it has other tools in it like stencils and rulers and things like that. And I'm just going to kind of sort through here as well. And I'm going to move those rulers into my other tools drawer and then leave this one labeled stamps and stencils. So the rulers don't really necessarily need to go in here, and I'm just kind of sorting through here to see. I also have my letterpress and stuff in here. Don't use my letterpress very often. I think it's such a cool idea, but I'm not very good at it, and it really takes a lot of finesse whenever I'm working with it, and so I don't typically have enough patience for that. Sometimes whenever I'm like in the mood to do a particular project, I'll pull out a tool like that and kind of fuss around with it just to kind of have something to do, have some something to play around with. And then I did have some stencils in here that are more stitching stencils, so I'm moving those over with my stitching supplies. And that is going to finish out this whole room organization. It's been quite a process, but I've really enjoyed it. And it didn't even take me that long. I mean, what is this, part 6, I guess? I think this is part 6. And I did a little bit every day. So it took me about a week pretty much to do it all. It just, I took a break between each day. And this is how it looks. As you can see, that pink basket is my scraps. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll be back shortly with something else. Bye.